Now that Billy Donovan has stepped down as the Chicago Bulls head coach, there's going to be a lot of discussions about who should be the next head coach for the Chicago Bulls. And with some recent reports about a coach that is currently in the playoffs, I have a candidate for the Chicago Bulls. That guy is Tiago Splitter. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give a little bit of respect to Billy Donovan. Before we talk about and break it all down, you already know you gotta hear the music first. Cognac gang. Shy Boys podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down for today's daily episode. So if you're tuned in like talking Bulls basketball, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. Yes, hey man, there's some crazy things going on in this world, and sometimes even when guys are billionaires, they can still be a little weird and still do some questionable things out there. And I have a huge reason on why I believe Tiago Splitter should be a guy the Chicago Bulls show interest in once the season concludes for the Portland Trailblazers. Obviously, we have to go out there and make sure we get the guys up top to come and take care of business first. You know what I mean? Selecting the right guys with the basketball, the guy that's going to be in charge of the basketball operations, then the GM. But there should be a coach at the top of their list when it's all said and done. Follow me. This is going to be, it's going to take some time to get through this, guys. So follow me on why I have this train of thought. One will think that with the Portland Trailblazers currently in the playoffs, the ownership of that organization would consider just making Tiago Splitter the full-time head coach. We know what happened before the season with Chauncey Billups and all that stuff. He came in, took over, and now has this team in the playoffs. Where I'm getting this from is from a couple reports and mentions from Ramona Shelburne from ESPN stating that sources told ESPN that Splitter was given a raise from his assistant coach's salary and discussed a longer-term contract during the season, but the salary presented to him to continue on as the head coach was far below a standard NBA head coaching salary. And further discussions was tabled until after the season because this owner has an idea of discussing the position with guys that are not in the organization already. Crazy work, right? The head coach that's running the show right now has your team in the playoffs, and they just won a game last night. What are you doing? They went on and added on that the owner's goal is to run the organization more efficiently, just as he did when he bought the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes. I'm going to tell you right now, buddy, old pal, you may be a billionaire, but you sound real stupid. This is the NBA. This ain't the NHL. I'm going to keep it real with you right there. So if I'm a guy that's showing interest in trying to figure out some of my stuff, if I'm the Chicago Bulls, Tiago Splitter and his representation will be receiving a call from me prior to him sitting down with this cheap-ass owner. It's not frugal. Frugal is being responsible. Cheap is being stupid in most situations. And this guy has lost his mind. But here's my case on why I believe with these reports and with Tiago Splitter's track record, the Chicago Bulls very well should be interested in trying to at least interview him when the process gets rolling for the head coaching search. He is a former basketball player that played with a highly respected franchise in the San Antonio Spurs. He is a champion as a player. Won the championship with the San Antonio Spurs in 2014. Tiago Splitter this season took over through all the turmoil with Chauncey Billups and turned this team around. 42-40 record, earned the 7th seed by beating out the Phoenix Suns in the play-in, and has developed some of these players under his tutelage as the main guy. He's going to get that love because he is the current head coach. And he should be given a lot of flowers and a lot of respect for what he has done, because his team is in the playoffs over some of the teams that we, has a lot of not a lot of expectations, but some expectations entering the season in the Golden State Warriors, in the Los Angeles Clippers. So we had that respect for those teams. This guy took this young basketball team and turned it around and got them in the playoffs. Now let's talk about the coaching experience from Tiago Splitter. This is a guy that has player experience, and now let's talk about the coaching experience. He served as a pro scout in 2018, then got promoted in 2019 as a player developmental coach and assistant with the Brooklyn Nets. He was an assistant with the Houston Rockets in 2013. Now he is the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, but he was also a head coach for Paris basketball, winning the French Cup, winning the French championship, and reached the Euro League semifinals. And now, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. Look at Denny over there with the Portland Trailblazers. Look at the night that Scoot had last night. Look how these young players and these veterans are mixing well together to now make it an interesting series between the Portland Trailblazers and the San Antonio Spurs. So my point is that it's not, you don't have to go out there and say he's absolutely our guy, but he definitely should be on the list of candidates to come in and be able to help this franchise. He's a guy that started as a scout, a player developmental coach, all the things that we want in Chicago for guys like Montes Booz-Ellis, for a guy to help Josh Giddey take that next leap. Maybe knocking on early on last season, seeing him knocking on the door of an all-star. Maybe a guy like this can help him get to that all-star. We still want more development to be shown and displayed from Leonard Miller. We don't know what's going to happen with Rob Dillingham, but if he still is going to be here, which I anticipate, we want to see more from him as well. And all the new guys that I'm expecting to see come over here in Chicago, I want someone like that who has that experience of developmental stuff, of some coaching experience, to be in the position of head coach for the Chicago Bulls. Yes, there are other guys out there. Yes, there are other names out there, and we'll let these guys figure it out. But he definitely, Tiago Splitter, definitely should be on the list of candidates, simply because his owner is being very, very disrespectful. And if I'm Tiago Splitter, he better come with an offer I cannot refuse, or I'm walking. And if he decides to walk, or if he has any doubt in his mind, the Chicago Bulls need to be in the running for interviewing this guy. At the very least, championship experience as a player, experience overseas, experience in the NBA. What more do you want? I'm just saying. And it seems like these players love playing for him. You got guys like Denny sticking up for him about some of the reports that have come out. And you got to show a lot of love to Tiago Splitter for just simply saying, I know what's being reported, but I'm just going to go out here and be a pro. So shout out to Tiago Splitter. And then if you do go out there and win a couple more games in this series, hell, if you upset the San Antonio Spurs, which I don't anticipate, you still slap that owner in his face for thinking that he about to run an NBA franchise like it's the damn NHL. What? That is absurd. That is absolutely absurd. It's some stuff I never even heard of, bro. That's crazy. He wants a coach to coach for $1 million a year. Boy, are you slow? That's crazy work. Crazy work. But y'all let me know how y'all feeling about Tiago Splitter as a candidate and if the Chicago Bulls should pursue him, because I believe they should if and when he becomes available. That's just me. Some foresight, some early thinking, and looking at some of the stuff that's being out there, because that is the ultimate disrespect. I'm in this position and I'm in the playoffs and you talking to other candidates, you done lost your rabbit ass mind. But nonetheless, let's continue on. And before we end the show, I want to pay some respect to Billy Donovan. Yeah, I absolutely do want to pay some respect to Billy Donovan. And here's why. Through all the stuff that we've given Billy Donovan over the years, through all the stuff that AK and Mark Eversley, Invisible Ass, has done, and rightfully so, we criticized him, we held his foot to the fire. He said, I'm going to walk away. Now you say, Bobby, but he walked away. That's the point. It's a good thing he walked away. And it shows me why he's respected around this league, bro. I keep telling you, there's the fan experience, and then there's the experience of the guys that actually get to work in the NBA. And this is why he's well respected. Billy Donovan had a full-blown table laid out for him, full of seafood, full of Wagyu steak, full of hibachi, full of ramen. For my black folks, some soul food. He had it all laid out for him. He said, you know what? I ain't in it for a power grab. I'm going to remain true to who I am. And I'm going to walk away so y'all can do this process the right way. What? Most people would have said, oh, you about to give me an opportunity to pick my own GM, quote unquote, or you about to give me an opportunity to move upstairs to where I can now run the show? And I don't even necessarily if I want to run it. Most people would have jumped on that opportunity. He stayed true to himself. So I got to show a lot of respect to Billy Donovan in that. I have to. If you ain't rocking with that, I don't know what y'all want me to do. You got to be able to show respect to somebody who remained true to themselves. Said, I don't want to be upstairs. I know I can have all this power. I want to fucking coach. That's real right there. That's real right there. And to be honest with you, he looked out for the Chicago Bulls, regardless of how we feel about Billy Donovan as a head coach. I see why Montes Buzelis and Josh Giddey not only talked about him as a head coach, but talked about him as a man. It's all connected now. We always had those questions of why these players love Billy Donovan so much. Those actions, for him to depart in that manner with those words and saying that he wants them to have a clean process. He wants the new guys to come in here and have a clean slate. You got to respect it. Regardless if you feel like he eyeballing another job. He has that right. But he also could have went in the opposite direction and said, I'm about to run this bitch. He didn't do that. He did the Bulls a solid, man. And now I honestly see why. After all these years, I always question, why did these guys keep talking so good about Billy Donovan? Because the head coach be doing some questionable shit. But the man, he did some real shit, bro. And you can only respect when you do real stuff. When you go out there and you set the example and remain true to who you are. That's how you gain the ultimate respect, bro. That's how you gain the ultimate respect. That's how you get Montes Buzelis saying, I respect him as a man. That's how you get those comments coming from your players. It's real, man. And I got to show Billy Donovan some respect because I gave him a lot of hell. Hell, even in one of our segments, we got him saying, Billy, read the fucking room. Hey, Billy read the room this time, man. Billy read the room this time, so I got to show much respect to him. I imagine that I'm anticipating, hey, he might be going to Orlando. I wish him much success as long as he ain't beating my Bulls. But we know that might be, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that, man. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning into another episode. Go ahead and let me know how you feeling about Tiago Splitter becoming, or should Tiago Splitter be a candidate for the Chicago Bulls head coaching position? I believe with some of the stuff that's coming out, he should be. And what he's doing on that basketball court, he should be. But that's just me. Let me know how you feel. And are you agreeing with some of the words I said when I show respect to Billy Donovan? Let me know how you feel about it. I feel like he did some real stuff right there. And if you remain true to yourself, that's all that matter. Hey, if they ain't hating, you know what I mean? You doing something wrong. You doing something right, they gonna hate. I ain't mad at it. But hey, that is it for me, y'all. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you always see red, and y'all already know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace. Cognac. Gang.